So let's look at another post in the Korean Eternity section. So in search of our ancestors' legacy, for those of you who are waiting for Unreal development, I would like to briefly explain how the Eternity project is progressing from the concept stage. The Eternity project is not a project to create something completely new. That's good. This is a large-scale update project that maintains the memories that Militians remember while improving quality. Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to keep in mind. A lot of players have been in Mabinogi a long time, and they don't want something completely new. They want a lot of things to stay the same, but improve. So how can we renew the existing things without damaging the emotions remembered by Militians? The first step in that process is to figure out what the current creation was made for. So this is the Fountain of Dumbarton, which every Militian has seen at least once. 20 years ago, what was the intention of our ancestors, written as ancestors and read as previous developers when they developed this fountain? So here you can see 3 images of the fountain. One big one here, and 2 smaller images here. What kind of shape were you trying to express? What is the whole behind it? The answer was found in my ancestor's original painting from 20 years ago. So here's the concept art for it 20 years ago. Also, judging from the religious symbol behind the fountain, the hairstyle, and the shape of the chair, I thought the person sitting was Limerak. That's why I worked in this direction, hoping to create a feeling of compassion. So the statue for the fountain is supposed to be the same as what you see on the stained glass church window. The picture below is the result of my efforts to breathe life into the scenery of Dumbarton while keeping the concept intention of that time alive. So yeah, this looks pretty good for the new fountain in Unreal. And this is the fountain at night when it's darker out. So to create a mood where you can feel the benevolence of Limerak, we place candles to add to the atmosphere of this fountain so that it can be enjoyed at night. So next we're going to look at the magic school. I wonder what the intention was behind those 3 long poles hanging from the roof. Did they want to hang a flag? This also allows us to read the direction of the concept from 20 years ago. So I think this drawing here is what Dumbarton used to look like 20 years ago, like a long time ago. I know that Dumbarton got like a update at some point over the years, so that's why this like structure is here. They removed that when they updated it, I think. The initial concept was to include a flag, but it seems to have been removed for some reason. If the flag couldn't be added due to a specification limitation that prevented it from moving, I wanted to include it, and the original drawing below is what I intended to do. So here's a drawing of what the new magic school will look like, and it looks really good. It was a good idea to add a staircase here. And here you can see a flag in the center and 2 weather vanes on the left and right side. Of course, we don't just make it as is. Here's the current idea. Instead of going with 3 flags, I've mixed in a weather vane to add some fun. We also added a school bell that wasn't there before, so there's a new bell on the side. In order to resolve the inconveniences that existed while using this school, we have also improved the route to make moving around more convenient. In this way, we are trying to create things now, 20 years later, that we could not create back then. Then what about the character? It's not just the background that tries to preserve the original sensibility. Let's take the monster imp as an example. Both the left and the right are imps, since they are the same species should their appearances match to some extent. So this is like a commerce imp, and this is like just a normal imp enemy. The imp on the right came out later, so it has fewer sharp edges and looks more complete. Also, in terms of cuteness, the one on the right is cuter. Since both are the same race called imps, it would be right to renew them so that they look similar. But is it really right to break the image that the character imp has? If you think about the symbolism of the character imp that the Militian remembers, it would not be right to renew this guy in a cute way. So this is what the imps are going to look like in Unreal. So the image of the existing imp has been maintained, but the form has been renewed with better quality. So yeah, it still looks like the same imp from the current game, just still a little creepy though. So here you can see the comparison, existing imp on the left, and the imp renewed in Unreal on the right. Preserving the Aran scenery that Militians loved while also adding new things to make the scenery in their memories beautiful. This is how the development of Eternity's project is progressing. So yeah, I think they have the right idea. Keep the game the same, but renew it and make it look better. Because there are a lot of players that have been playing this game for 10, 15, 20 years, and we don't want a completely new game. We want to keep the game looking the same, but better. So they definitely have the right idea. For a peaceful night in Militian, so we will be looking at another one of the Korean Eternity posts, and this one's about the new BGMs for the game, the new background music. So this time I would like to talk about the background music that was introduced at the 20th Anniversary Winter Showcase. They played the new themes for Dumbarton. First of all, please read while listening to the new BGM of Dumbarton that was first released. So they have a new BGM for Dumbarton during the day, and a new theme for Dumbarton at night. And they also added the new songs for Turconale during the daytime and during the nighttime, and for Tailton during day and night. But since they ask us to listen to the new BGM while we read about it, let's listen to the new Dumbarton theme during the day. So Mabinogi provides a wide variety of sound sources, starting from the village where you first step into a new world. Many NPCs you encounter in Aran also have their own theme songs. I think every Militian has a BGM that they cherish and love the most in their hearts. As the service has continued for over 20 years, BGM has also been gradually accumulated. In the process, some sound sources have been rearranged into an orchestra, and title songs such as Old Legends Told by My Grandmother When I Was Young have been consistently rearranged into various versions. Militians who have consistently enjoyed Mabinogi will know well that they can simultaneously appreciate the history of changes from MIDI sound sources that bring back old memories to recently applied real sound sources or orchestral versions. However, I started to wonder if it would really give that kind of impression to those who are new to Mabinogi. When I do mainstream, I often go back and forth between different regions. Since the BGMs that change as I move between regions are all produced at different times, I always felt that I could clearly feel the traces of time, and this always bothered me. In addition, since we are now moving to Unreal Engine, I also thought about whether there were areas where we could enhance the emotional experience. The exciting and lively town BGM, which is Dumbarton's, is good, but what if we maintained a slightly calmer and more lyrical atmosphere when night falls? I also thought about this, and I wanted to include a feature in Mabinogi where the sky gradually turns purple and the BGM naturally transitions and becomes calm at the same time. After several internal discussions, we first decided on a direction for producing the night version. While maintaining the original sensibility, we decided to focus on conveying the unique atmosphere of night above all else. If necessary, we included options such as slightly slowing down the tempo compared to the original song used for the day version, changing some of the instruments that give off a lively feeling or lowering the key. And it looks like we got through Dumbarton's day theme. Let's check out the night one too. I thought that the night version should be somewhat in line with the original song that will be used as the day version to create more synergy in order to smoothly change from day to night while maintaining the concept and atmosphere of the original sound source. We internally agreed that it would be good to consider refining both day and night. In other words, the original song needs to be revised or improved. Unlike the newly produced night version, the day version needed to be approached much more cautiously because there is an area of familiarity attached. In order to transplant the unique emotion conveyed by the original song as best as possible, we collaborated with our in-house sound team Neckward and explained what emotions were mainly conveyed in the existing BGM and what kind of atmosphere, concept, and characteristics the region themed on this sound source had. After receiving a lot of feedback and discussions over a really long period of time, improvements to the day and night version are also in progress. We also paid attention to properly adjusting the balance and harmony between the songs while improving them simultaneously, such as making sure that the types of instruments used do not harm the concept of the town. In addition to the feature that naturally transitions BGM as time passes from day to night, we are currently reviewing other elements that can convey the unique sentiment that can only be felt in Mabinogi. So yeah, I think they did a really good job with all 6 of these tracks that are up here. So go ahead and listen to all of them, they're really good. And you can even download them if you want to. So we'll be looking at another Eternity post on the Eternity section on the Mabinogi Korean site. So teacher, I have cool skin tone. So this post is about like skin tones and like how they work in Pleon Engine and like how they are going to be reworked into Unreal. So why do the colors I see on the color chip look different from the colors applied to the actual character? I chose the same skin color, but why do humans, elves, and giants appear as different colors? It was such a shame that we couldn't express various skin tones. So why are the actual application colors different? This phenomenon is due to Mabinogi's existing character creation method. In Mabinogi, the character's skin color was implemented based on fixed color values. This method made the colors look different even when the same color was applied because each race had different color values. In Pleon, this color value was fixed, so it was an area that could not be modified. Because fixed color values had the advantage of making the colors richer until recently, skin tones in Unreal were being developed similar to those in Pleon. It's Unreal, so this shouldn't be a limitation. We decided to find another way to improve. It was always a shame that I couldn't apply the desired skin color to the character. To address this limitation, a complete overhaul of the manufacturing method was required. Delete the fixed values specified in the modeling itself. We've made changes to the texture creation method based on gray so that colors can be accurately applied to the skin based on color values. So here you can see an example. Changed the skin color that had a fixed value to gray. There's nothing wrong with the image. And this is a comparison image of Pleon and Unreal with the same skin color applied after modifying the production method. As you can see, Unreal focuses on creating an environment where it is easy to express a variety of personalities by implementing skin color as is. In the future, you will be able to have fun finding a personal color that matches your character's color preference, and making your personality and charm stand out even more. We will continue to work to create a more immersive and enjoyable environment in the future. So yeah, this was a interesting post that explains how the skin colors currently work in Pleon Engine, and what needs to be done to make them work better in Unreal Engine. New facial. So we'll be looking at another post on the Korean Eternity section about faces in Mabinogi and how they're going to be reworked in Unreal Engine. So, Eternity supports 3-dimensional facial expressions. In this post, I'd like to take time to explain the new facial appearance of Eternity. So, currently in Mabinogi, all eyes and mouths are implemented by rendering textures, 2D pictures, onto the face mesh 3D model. To put it simply, blinking eyes, beauty coupons, smiling faces, and crying faces are all implemented by replacing the textures that are rendered at the time. Okay, so this is showing how like the eyes and the face work. So you can see like the examples here and here, and this is like how blinking works. But it's already been 20 years since Militians have lived in Erin. In the meantime, the world has developed rapidly and the appearances of characters in games have become more standardized day by day. These days, games implement beautiful appearances with mesh molding rather than textures. Since textures are only 2D images, it is difficult to express three-dimensionality or natural movements. Despite the painstaking efforts and research into extreme expressions possible with textures, there are fundamental limits to the range of expressions possible with textures. However, the data accumulated over decades of service and technical limitations of the old engine were holding us back, and it was difficult to proceed while modifying the structure of the game that was already in the midst of a fierce live service. But we are working on replacing it with Unreal Engine. If that's the case, wouldn't Mabinogi also be able to have characters with beautiful appearances like in modern games? Since we're making a new one anyway. But there are some things to consider first. So first, there is a cartoon-like emotional expression unique to Mabinogi that is only possible with textures. This kind of expression is hard to make with mesh, and even if you do, it doesn't have the unique feel of a texture. I mentioned earlier that it's hard to bring out a sense of three-dimensionality with texture, but in this case it's more natural expression to remove the sense of three-dimensionality. If you look closely at the first expression in particular, the mouth is sticking out of the face, which you can see here, which is a very ambiguous part to make with mesh. Also, these cartoonish expressions are a unique sensibility of Mabinogi. And second, if you decide to express all the existing texture eyes with meshes, you can't help but think about the fate of the hundreds of existing texture eyes. Since it's a game that's been in service for a long time, there are cases where the resolution of old resources is low, causing a jagged staircase phenomenon in the eyebrows. Then there may be an option to upscale old texture resources, in which case there may be a slight change in impression. From the developer's point of view, the intention was to provide a clearer appearance by cleaning up with the lines and increasing the resolution, but the change in impression felt by the Militians was much greater than we expected. Therefore, even simple upscaling is an area that must be approached carefully. After much internal thought and discussion, we decided to remake all texture eyes in mesh form, except for the expression textures that appear briefly. We will do our best to minimize the difference in impression that will occur during this process. Because of the issues mentioned above, we couldn't completely abandon the eyes or mouths expressed with texture. We sought a way to express both. First of all, since the basic eye expression has changed from texture to mesh, The method of simply replacing the stickers to be attached to the mesh as shown above cannot be used. Instead, the mesh itself for the eye area needs to be replaced. To do this, Eternity had to separate the face part into eye, mouth, face, shape sections. So here you can see the 3 different sections. There's the face, and then there's the eyes, and then there's the mouth. In the future, instead of just replacing the stickers that go on the eyes or mouth area, you'll be replacing the eyes or chin itself. To continue with the following explanation, we first need to know about morphing. It's similar in 3D. It's a smooth connection between mesh in state A to mesh in state B. Morphing allows you to create a variety of expressions from a single eye-mouth mesh. For a completely different shaped eyes, such as Beauty Coupon, you must replace the mesh itself. So how do we express both mesh eyes and texture eyes through this morphing thing? From now on, Eternity's characters are Transformers. The purpose of this unidentified mask is as follows. So when making an expression that can only be expressed with this type of texture, the mask moves forward in front of the eyes through morphing, attaching texture to the advanced mask. When it returns to the default expression after a certain amount of time has passed, back again through morphing behind the eyes. This process allowed us to express both texture and mesh expressions as needed. And you can see how like the texture expression like pushes out and moves, it covers the eyes. So that's how that works. But in the actual game, it's processed in a split second, so you don't notice these processes. But like, this is what's really going on. That's cool. The mouth is processed in the same way as the eyes. So far, we have introduced you to Eternity's new facial system. How do you like it? I'm already excited to walk around in Erin with my new look. I hope you Militians like it too. So yeah, this was a very interesting read about like how faces currently work in Leon Engine and how they're going to work in Unreal Engine. Alright, let's play Mabinogi today. So we're gonna work on Stardust stuff today, and the Veteran Dungeon, things like that. Gonna be pretty casual and boring until the Arcana come out next week. Alright, right off the bat, let's go ahead and get some Stardust quests, see what we have. Maybe I'll work on Stardust first, do my Veteran Dungeon later for a change. Yeah, mostly just waiting for the Arcana. Until then, I might as well get my Stardust up a rank. Hard mode advanced Rundle. Well, at least I don't need a pass to get into that, so that's good. And let's go get the Daily Dungeon and the Daily Veteran Dungeon. I mean, who knows, maybe the Daily Dungeon will be Rundle.
이 편지는 제법 잘 썼네. B+.
Fairy Dungeon, okay. And what about the Veteran one? Fairy Dungeon. Nice. That means I don't have to buy a pass. Let's go clear Rundle first. We're gonna get the Stardust stuff done first, and then I'll like do the Veteran Dungeon when I get a Stardust quest I don't like, and I'm waiting to exchange it. Okay, let's gear up. Staff and Scythe. What's that orb doing? 7 durability? That's still good. I even gives bonus damage too. I might eventually get that orb ready to start using with my Scythe. But if I do, I'm probably going to... I'd want to enchant it first, and that needs to be reforged again, because those reforges kind of suck. And time for the boss. Done. Let's go turn in the Stardust quest. Beltane mission. Okay, that one's fine. I don't mind that one. I'm gonna need a Beltane pass thing. Do I have one of those boxes? Here we go. Nowhere to run. There's the pass. Do I have anything I should be using? No, we can use that crystal next week. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna focus on staying here too long. I want to save all the levels up for like next week, so that can go to my Arcana leveling. Oh, one of them did drop fine leather here. Okay, we can leave now. Warden of the Gods. Can buy a pass for that from the Adventure Seal shop.
이 편지는 제법
Wait, so you can buy one additional neartite crystal a week,
한숨 돌리고 이랬으면
or maybe daily. Huh. 30 Adventure Seals. I won't really do that though because I have like 3 characters that are capable of running like techs and stuff, so I just alternate between characters because you get like 10 every week per character.
뭐야 이 편지는?
Oh right, and we need the Avon feather. Been a while since I've been to Avon. This area is gonna look really cool in Unreal. Even now, like, this is a pretty old area. It's been around for a really long time, and it's still one of the best looking places in the game. So I have 34 and 36 Stardust material. I think I get 4 every time I complete one. Let's find out. Yeah, 4. So we almost have enough of that material. It's going to take me a little bit longer to get the core binding agent. Sulfur spider. Fun. I guess that one's not too bad. I also just realized my little Pando bot is broken. The little cat bot that is usually down here, for some reason it's not working, so I'll have to take a look at that extension on like Twitch later. Figure out what's wrong with it. If I'm gonna do the mission, I might as well do it on Elite, so let's get an Elite pass. Okay, that time I got the spider in one shot with Meteor. Yesterday he lived. Let's go turn this in. So since I chose to get one of the crystals, we should get like 8 materials. That should put me at like 46. Sorry, this is such an annoying grind. Ghost the Partholon. Okay, we can do that. And I can also buy a daily crystal from the trading post. So we'll do that too. On the bright side, by the time I'm done, I'll have nearly 2 million in gold to cover the cost. Oh wait, not this guy. This one. Limited items. Can't buy 2 meme of these. I only have enough for like 2 more. My ducats are running out. I need to get back into like doing commerce again. Oh, some of this is done by a royal tailor. That's nice. what kind of like advantage would that give for the gear? Okay, maybe it gives it more durability or something. And I have to use up these 2 rebirth pots anyway, otherwise they'll expire, so we'll do a quick rebirth before we jump in. They'll also remove my pet buff, so I'll be able to just use that again instantly without waiting the hour. And do I have any more shadow crystals? I don't think I do. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Wow, that polar vortex is really effective for that. And isn't Dolahan the boss here? Yeah, we're gonna get him with Meteor. Get those two as well. Gem powder, spirit gems. Heater shield. Well, at least it'll sell for 9k. So once I turn this in, I should have like 54. So I should do 2 more quests after this one, and then we can finally upgrade that. Yeah, one more quest and we'll have 58, and then another quest and we'll have like 62. So let's fetch 2 more. Battle for Tailton 1. Yeah, alright, that's a good one. Doesn't take too long. But I'm gonna need to get some more passes. Also, don't forget, I think the Black Friday sale is ending like this Thursday. Or wait, did it already end? Okay, where'd that box go off to? Oh, there it is. So, Battle for Tailton 1 on Elite. Okay, so we're not doing that secret mission crap, so, we can't exchange the quest until like 6 a.m. the next day, so I think we're gonna go do the veteran dungeon now. So we're gonna go do Berry Dungeon while we wait. So let's go to Bangor and go take care of that. And where's that veteran pass at? Here it is. And time for the boss. Okay, let's go over here. And 2 meteors. Looks like we're gonna be able to get 4 of them with at least 1. Then let's get those 3 in the next one. Nice. That's 3 of them down. Fate foretold. One more to go. Okay, Polar Vortex, Thunderblight, and Shadow Flare. And then in 24 minutes and 6 seconds. I think I got lucky. I think some of those meteors got like a critical hit. Let's open it up. Get the gold, get the spirit gems, smoldering thread, the gem. Nice. So the veteran dungeon and daily dungeon were the same, so they're both complete now.
기차 돌아가는 건 아무리 봐도 안 끌려.
And let's go get a new Stardust quest. Hopefully one that's actually fun to do. That's the thing about like Grandmaster quests and Stardust quests. If I get quests for one of those I just don't feel like doing, I just won't do it. Just wait until I can get a new one. Like it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm in any rush. Okay, rank B. Shadow Realm Champion. Okay, that's not too bad. Do I have any more of those Elite Shadow Mission passes? Or did I use up the last one? I may have used up the last one. Well, I'll check when I get there, because the thing will tell me when I select the mission. And the good news is I won't have to dip into the bank because I have over 2 mil gold, so we can afford the upgrade. I think I need to get a new pass. Yeah. Which isn't a problem. Go and get one of those. And done. Spirit gems. We'll pick up the gold. There's some over here too. I'm not gonna work on any more Stardust stuff today, I'm satisfied with making this a good Stardust stopping point. Like, next week is the exciting week. On Tuesday, RC will be showing off the 2 new Arcana that are going to be coming up on next Thursday, on the 11th. And then, like, Wednesday or Thursday, the Korean Eternity section should get updated, I think. And there'll probably be new posts there. So, next week a few exciting things happen, but right now we're just kind of waiting. Alright, let's level this up. Now we have this skill here. Eventually I need to go and do some of the lower ranking quests for, like, what, E? Yeah, rank E material, so I can get these 2 skills up, but I'll do that later. Like, I wanna focus on ranking up the main Stardust thing. So are we still... Yeah, rank B. Still getting rank B material. I think we'll need rank A material for these two maybe, but right now it's rank B. No, what I think I'll do is I'll keep doing rank B stuff until I get enough materials for this, and then I'll start doing some rank E stuff, some lower rank stuff to get this material, so I can also take up like these two skills a little bit while we build up materials. Alright, let's cut today's stream a little short. We're going to wrap things up right around here. And we'll have some longer Mabby streams next week. It's just this week is kind of a slow week in general. The major Mabinogi news and stuff happens like next week. So we'll save our strength for that.